I got a comment recently on one of my videos. It was kind of spicy, kind of fiery. This person was calling out what some of the builders are doing. You know, when you see these interest rate promos and rate buy downs, and you see these advertised things, and he kind of called it out in the video, and he said, you know what? You shouldn't believe in these things. These are like the adjustable rate mortgages in disguise. It's basically the same thing. It's a scam. You're going to get yourself screwed. What's going to happen when you go to 8 or 9%? And then honestly, he called some other things out in that comment that got to me a little bit. So I felt like, in the best way possible, I felt like we should talk about this, because this is some major information out there that if you don't understand this and you don't get these things right, you might be confused and you might be led astray. And I don't want that for you. I want you to feel educated. I want you to feel empowered. And I want you to be able to make the best decision possible when it comes to buying houses. If we haven't met before, my name is Zach. My team and I, we sell new construction real estate here in DFW. That's pretty much all we do, whether it's buying from a builder's inventory or building from the ground up. Knowing and understanding what's going on with builders is our expertise, and we're in this market every single day. So I want to break down what ARMs are, what rate buy downs are. Are they the same? Are they different? I want to give you the honest scenarios of both of these things, and hopefully help you make a little bit more of an informed decision. If you have questions beyond this and you want to talk, you would love to work with our team, we always put our contact information right here on the video, but we can't do anything for you unless you reach out directly to us. So we're going to put that there for you, give you the information, and then you do with it what makes the most sense for you. So let's start with this. What is an ARM? Not like arm, right? Like ARM, acronym being adjustable rate mortgage. So these are what, like, if you followed mortgage lending or the banking crisis in any amount of time, like if you remember back to the crash of 2008, this is what got a lot of people in trouble. So these would be fixed terms for an initial time period, and then the rate would adjust based on what's in the market, right? So you would see something like a 5-1 ARM. So it was fixed for 5 years, and then it would adjust every year following based on what was in the market, based on market index. Like, you could look at those and then look at lender margins and then see how the rate was going to adjust. So it might be 5% those 5 years, and then the market rate goes up, and then all of a sudden it's 7 or 8 or 9%, and you're stuck with this massive payment. And so what happened was payments would increase or decrease depending on what was going on in the market, and buyers had zero control, right? They would sign up for these and they would get all these loans, and then there was no documentation process, and then all of a sudden this home that was affordable at 5.5%, the rate then goes to 9%, and they added $3,000 to their monthly payment. People couldn't afford it. They were getting foreclosed on. Thus we had the crash of 2008. ARMs worked in the short term, getting buyers into homes. But here's the deal. We have way more regulation now than we did then because of what happened. And so the ARM was honestly a deal of uncertainty, right? Like, you just never knew what was going to happen, when it was going to happen, and how, like, the flexibility, like what was going to be your rate, right? You just didn't know. It was solely based on the market. Versus what we have right now is builders doing buy downs. So whether it's a permanent buy down or it's a temporary buy down. And if it's a permanent buy down, I want you to hear me say this. If the builder buys your loan down permanently, that is your locked in rate. So if they offer a 5.99 fixed rate for the life of the loan, that market rate is not going to change. So the market could go to 8, the market could go to 7, the market, whatever, as long as you're locked into that loan, it's not going to change. So there's a permanent buy down scenario that builders are doing, and we're seeing it happen every single day with builders that are buying rates down every single day. So there's permanent buy downs. And then we get into the temporary buy downs, which I think is more of maybe what this commenter was suggesting, that these temporary buy downs are exactly like the ARMs. And I want to tell you they're not. So here's the example. So if a builder shows you a 2-1 buy down, so 2 percentage points on the first year, 1 percentage point on the second year, and then fixed for the life of the loan. So the way that would work is, like, for example, if your market rate was 6.5% and you had a 2-1 buy down from the builder, you would have a 4.5% rate year one. So payments 1 to 12 would be at a 4.5% rate. Payments for year 2, so 13 to 24 would be at 5.5%. And then 3 through 30, the life of the loan, it is locked at a 6.5% rate. It is not adjustable in the market. It's not shifting. It's not changing. It's locked in at what it is. Same thing if you see a 3-2-1 buy down, you just add a year to that, right? So 3.5 the first year, 4.5 the second year, 5.5 the third year, and then locked in at 6.5%. No market index, no adjustments, no rises, things like that. Now, let me time out right there. Pause. You will see fluctuation in your payment when it comes to your taxes and your insurance. So if your insurance rate changes, like your homeowner's insurance rate changes, or your property taxes change, and they will, based on the assessed value of your home, you will see increases or decreases in your payments. But you will not, I don't know how clear to say this, you will not see fluctuation in your rate like you would an adjustable rate mortgage. It is going to be clearly lined out from the beginning. As soon as the lender and the builder starts talking about this, you're going to see what, like, hey, this is what you qualify for in the market rate. This is the buy down. This is the secondary buy down. Here's what it's going to be. And you're going to see that incredibly clearly spelled out. And if you don't see it spelled out, that's a different problem. So not adjustable, not like it is a buy down, but it is a fixed buy down and they can write in all of those costs. Or if they do the permanent buy down, it is a locked in, like if they buy you down to 5.25, which is very real right now. Or we have a deal that we just closed the other day that the builder bought them down to 4.99 fixed for the life of the loan with a 1-0 buy down. So a additional buy down for the first year to 3.99. And then when that first year is up, their rate is locked in. It's not changing at that 4.99. So this, in my opinion, works well for those buyers that are trying to stair-step their way into that mortgage payment, right? Because when we do this math, and we've done it before, it'll show you how much you're saving, upwards 6, 7, potentially $800 a month, depending on your price point, on that first year of that mortgage. Here's the deal, though. You're going to have to be able to qualify for the higher rate. So if the rate is 6.8, the lender is still going to qualify your debts, your incomes, your assets, your liabilities on that 6.8%. Just because they do the buy down or the temporary buy down, not the adjustable rate, they still have to qualify you on that cost there, right? So you're not getting it if you can't qualify at that higher rate. You will see, again, I'm going to say it for the second time, you will see your monthly payment adjust based on your taxes and based on your insurance. And the tax portion is the big one based on the assessed value. Most new construction lenders know to set up your escrow accounts based on the improved value of the home. Some of them don't, but make sure you ask. Like if you're not working like with us, just always make sure you're asking like, hey, are you setting this up so that I don't have sticker shock on the taxes? But just because that happens does not mean the rate changed, and these are not adjustable rate mortgages. So I think we've clearly lined that out, that what builders are doing is, first of all, it's legitimate. Second of all, it's helping tons and tons of people make homeownership a possibility, right? And so you've got people out there saying, oh, these adjustable rates are bad. These are not them. Like, these are not the things you're looking for. Those are not the droids you're looking for. Like, whatever. It's totally different. And the fear mongering of, oh, this is what's going on is not a good place to be. So I get the concern. I get the fear. And I get the trepidation. However, these are not the same. Buy downs are not ARMs. I don't know how many times I can say that, but they are not the same. They are very different products than what we saw in 2008, which got us to where we were. These are not the same things. The comment also talked about that rates may go to 8 or 9%. I don't know that they will, but if they do, guys, that's why you have a fixed rate locked in right now. That is, if it goes to 8 or 9%, you're in a winning scenario. If it falls, and I don't know that it'll fall to 2 and 3 and 4% again without the world falling apart. But if it does, you have the ability to refinance. And most of the time when you do the temporary buy downs, like the 3-2-1 or the 2-1 buy down, when that money is sitting in that account, and if rates get better and you decide to refinance in the middle of that, a lot of times the builder's lender will allow you to use that money toward your refinance if it's still there and if it makes sense. So you're not 100% locked into this if the rates get better and you want to refinance. You are 100% locked into the rate that you have. Like, it's going to be clearly lined out and it's not going to change. Now, the second part of that comment, or the last part of that comment, he made this idea that, you know, buyers are being conned and people are being taken advantage of. And here's what I would say to that. Like, if you feel that's the case, you need to work with some better people. Like that's the truth of it. And then lastly, you know, this one really dug at me. He's like, because, you know, these realtors aren't loyal and all they care about is their bottom line in their pocket. And there may be some people out there that are that way. But here's what I'm going to tell you. First of all, there have been plenty of times I've told clients not to buy. Like, we've looked at the scenarios and we've looked at the data and we've looked at everything that we can do. And it's like, guys, honestly, right now might not be the best time for you and we need to hold off. And I'm okay telling you that. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I want you to do what makes the most sense for you. There's also been plenty of times where I have come out of my own pocket to help make a deal work and given up commission at the table to say, hey, we've gotten this close. Like, what can we do to get this over the finish line? So don't come at me about realtors not being loyal or buyers being conned, because here's the other truth, and I want to be really transparent with you guys. I have built my business on YouTube. 99% of the transactions that we work, and we work a lot of transactions, come from right here, from the people that we meet online that are either here in DFW or that are relocating to DFW. That's where we build our business. And so, like, the fact that you would consider that, my entire business is built in a public facing forum. All that I have is my word and my integrity. Why would I do something to lead you astray? I want you to have all the success that you can. If you watch any other videos we put out, I don't want to dwell on this, but if you watch any of the other content, we put all the information out there. We expose all the information. We give you as much knowledge that you could ever want. And we've built this platform to help people just like you. So you just got to work with the right people. And I'm going to leave it at that. So if somebody's pushing you to do something without explaining it, because that's a problem, I don't want to dwell on it. I just want to educate and tell you, hey, ask the questions, and we're here to help ask those questions. We want to talk you through, hey, when these buy downs work, when they don't work. As we've talked about before in previous videos, our goal, at least in my opinion, is we should try and control that asset for as little of our money as possible. And so if those buy downs help make that possible, then I think we run with it, right? You've got to be able, again, to qualify for that rate. You've also got to have the builder paying for that. Like, if they're giving that money to you, you should be using that to your advantage. The best scenarios are when the lender comes back and says, hey, we've got this money to use from the builder. How do you want to do it? What do you want to structure this deal with to make it make the most sense for you? Or if you're in a position where you're like, hey, we need the temporary cash flow. We think rates are going to get better over time. This might make sense for us. Buy downs, the temporary buy downs don't make sense for everybody. We just need to evaluate that on a case-by-case scenario. And that's what we want to be here to help you do. Last thing I would tell you is it's okay to sit this one out. Guys, this market may not be for everybody. It may not work for you, and I'm 100% okay with that. But there's plenty of you that it is working for, that you have to buy, right? But you can't assume that everybody that's buying right now is being tricked or is being duped. Like, there's plenty of people that we're finding the right homes, the right deals, and we're making things work. And so if that's you, we want to make that happen for you. If that's not you, we are 100% okay with that. You're still welcome to hang out and ask questions and be ready to buy when you're ready to buy. And people will always ask you, Zach, when's the right time? When's the right time? When's the right time? When your numbers, your goals, and your life all align, that's the right time to buy. And for some of you, that means you need to wait 6 months. For some of you, that means that means we need to move right now because your job's trying to get you here. For some of you, like, hey, we just need to get you in the market. We need to get you start building. Whatever that is, we want to make that a helpful process for you. We've built a resource. We talk about it a lot. It's our brand new website. You can grab the QR code right there. Right there to check that out. Browse exclusively new construction listings, get away from all the pre-owned stuff and look at just what we've got going on in the new construction space, browse floor plans, and find something that makes sense for you. So I want to stop this confusion. Rate buy downs are legitimate. They are an incredibly useful tool right now with the market being what the market is to help people get into homes. And they are not adjustable rate mortgages, totally different products. Not here to push homes, just here to educate and hope that you find what you're looking for. So if you need help, again, our contact information, we're going to put it right here. If you have questions, reach out directly. We would love to answer those and be of assistance here in the DFW market any way that we can and help you find the deal that makes the most sense for you guys. Not what makes the most sense for me, but what makes the most sense for you to get you into your brand new home. So we appreciate you. We'll see you guys in our next video. Adios.